she continued to speak with persistence, surrounded by an endless void, frozen by the cold of the cosmic night. Xixia had stood at the edge of the sky for too long, and as she walked back, she felt the chill had attached itself to her. So, she hastened her pace, eager to return to the warmth of the fireplace in the Palace of Sunset Dreams. The peach garden was not illuminated by stars, yet why was it still so bright? Why was there still noise at this late hour? It sounded like a woman weeping. Weren't Io and the others supposed to be in the peach garden today? Xixia flew closer to take a look, and above the garden hung several large stars, the most beautiful kind in the heavens. However, stars were not to be moved casually. Who would dare to do such a thing? Inside the garden, a girl named Io was crying, and what was that thing leaping around her? A monkey? Sun Wukong said to Io, "Little girl, how long are you going to cry? I was just joking with you."
Io sobbed, "Wah."
"No, you ate all our peaches and used a binding spell on me."
"Wah?"
"I'm going to tell the Queen Mother about you." Sun Wukong impatiently replied, "Go ahead and tell. I'm not scared. I'm afraid you won't go. You've been crying for hours." "Ah, the water's rising. Help, kid. I'm really sleepy and need to close the garden. Please come back tomorrow for a visit and take your crying outside. You're disturbing my rest." Io stubbornly cried, "Wah, no. Wah, you owe me peaches." Sun Wukong taunted, "What a miser! A few peaches, really? Come with me to the flower fruit mountain, and I'll give you 10 baskets. Io wailed, "Wah, you ate more than 10 baskets." Sun Wukong bargained, "All right, 20 baskets, 100 baskets, 1,000 baskets? You're too greedy, trying to extort me?" Io thought about it and cried even louder. Sun Wukong indifferently said, "If she hits you, can't you hit her back? If you can't beat her, you can always bite. What's the point of crying?" Io, furious, turned pale. "You? Who are you? How dare you say such things?" Sun Wukong proudly replied, "I am Sun Wukong." Io stopped crying abruptly, staring at him in shock. Sun Wukong, the nightmare of the heavens. This name often appeared in those bloody tales, associated with the continuous wars between the gods and demons, where the scent of blood rose to the sky. Sun Wukong's name was always linked to the celestial court's defeats, like a shadow pressing on the heads of the divine generals, because no one had ever defeated him. Those who fought him and survived were only a few exceptional celestial beings like the third prince. Legends said he ate 10,000 people every day, that he was as tall as a mountain, that nothing could survive where he passed. He now stood before Io, so Io froze for a moment, then screamed and vanished. Sun Wukong muttered to himself, "What's wrong with that girl? Is my name that scary?" Xixia stepped out from the woods and smiled. Who wouldn't know the fame of the great sage equal to heaven? Sun Wukong turned to look at her. "You don't seem afraid of me," Xixia asked. "Why should I be afraid of you?" Sun Wukong pondered for a while. "Yes, why should I be afraid? If all the gods in the heavens thought like you, I wouldn't have to stay in the garden all day planting trees." Xixia praised. "These trees are growing well? You must know gardening." Sun Wukong disdainfully said, "Pift, gardening? What's that? I just know that there aren't many spiritual things in the heavens. One is the trees in the peach garden, and the other is the horses in the imperial stables, which need to be treated as friends." Xixia curiously asked, "Trees and horses are your friends, but what about the countless gods and Buddhas?" Sun Wukong scoffed, "Ha! If they had spirituality, they wouldn't comprehend this path, nor achieve this immortality." Xixia exclaimed, "That's the first time I've heard that." Sun Wukong explained, "It's what my master told me. To ascend to immortality, one must be free from desires and fears. I think that would be like being dead." Xixia pursued, The realm of is beyond joy and sorrow. How would you understand? Who is your master?" Sun Wukong mysteriously said. He told me not to mention his name. Zixia speculated. There aren't many who could teach someone as powerful as you without teaching the orthodox methods. It's easy to guess. Sun Wukong challenged. Oh, go ahead and guess. Zixia analyzed. In the three realms, the most powerful in terms of skill and magic are in the heavens, led by the Buddha of the Western Paradise, but you wouldn't be his disciple. Sun Wukong disdainfully said. I wouldn't be interested even if he took me as a disciple. Zixia continued. The second most powerful is the Buddha's second disciple, Golden Cicada, who questioned the Buddha's teachings, pursued a different path, and was cast into madness by the Buddha, his soul falling into the mortal world. You wouldn't be his disciple either. Sun Wukong denied. I don't even know him, Zixia went on. The third is the hermit sage, Bodhi, also one of the founders of Buddhism, but with different teachings from the Buddha. He focuses on the present rather than the afterlife. He takes disciples based on talent, not morals, and few graduate. Unlike the Buddha, whose disciples are numerous. Besides these three, no one else in the world could have taught you. So, who is your master? Sun Wukong remained silent. Zixia sighed. It's a pity that Bodhi taught you magic, but didn't guide you to enlightenment. The way cannot be taught, but must be self-realized. He probably feared you might stray, so he forbade you from mentioning his name. Sun Wukong explained. That's not it. My master said the eternal path I wanted to learn. He didn't teach me, so I didn't receive his true teachings. He said my real master is in the mortal world, and I should find him myself. I think he just couldn't teach me and used that excuse. Zixia was silent. Sun Wukong urged. Little girl, you'd better leave. Staying with me, your parents would scold you. Zixia honestly said. I have no parents. I was born from the purple clouds of the Western Paradise. Sun Wukong exclaimed. Oh? He grabbed a peach and took a big bite. Poor orphan. Zixia angrily asked. Who are you talking about? Sun Wukong changed the subject. Talking about myself. Okay? He flipped to another tree and lay down. Go away. I don't have time to play with you. Zixia suggested. Can I come to play with you in the future? Sun Wukong refused. No. What's fun about playing with a girl? Aren't you afraid I'll eat you? Zixia smiled and disappeared into the clouds. Sun Wukong yawned 100 times on the tree but couldn't fall asleep. So boring. So boring.